Hey, this is Dyro, and you're listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Shawn Wayans, and you are listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge. What's up, Dr. Mahomes?
Hey, this is CC Pennison. You listen to JMG Live Music Lounge.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Joe Gotro, and you are listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
It's your boy, DJ Chucky.
What's up, guys? This is DJ producer Ksenia Gali, live from Greece, and you're listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
JMG Live Music Lounge. Ready? Let's go.
JMG Live Music Lounge with Jakari Harris. Hear it first with your favorite music artists and celebs. Interviews and entertainment.
What's up? This is Felix Mahowska, and you're listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the JMG Live Music Lounge. I'm your host, Jakari Harris, and this week we have our first comedy edition of the Music Lounge with Mr. Shawn Wayans. That's right. Shawn has a show this weekend at the Improv. So I caught up with the funny man before his show, and we talked about his stand-up, movies. He even took a few questions from our Facebook fans. So get ready for a great episode, and let's go.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
So my music headline for this week is on Cardi B, Miss Bloody Shoes. You know, I've always liked female MCs that have had an edge to them like Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim's delivery has always been strong, rough, but always sexy. And that's how I see Cardi B. Cardi B has been the talk of the summer since the release of her song, Bodak Yellow. The song is hot. Some would say it's a little ratchet, but that's okay. We all have a ratchet side. But Cardi B is blowing up right now. Bodak Yellow is currently number 3 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart, and Cardi is in good company because she's right behind DJ Khaled and Rihanna, who's sitting pretty at number 2 with Wild Thoughts. Now, obviously, MTV has taken notice because Cardi B will be performing during the pre-show of the MTV Video Music Awards this Sunday, August the 27th. So people get to see the breakout rap star perform Bodak Yellow live this weekend. You know, I follow Cardi B on Instagram, and I get to see all of her little video clips, and especially the one, it just got like 4 million views. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it who follow her, where she just got her new car, and she is just outrageous. So I just can't wait to see what she's going to do this weekend. Now, the MTV Awards will be hosted by Katy Perry, who has also had a busy summer since the release of her album Witness in June. I'm still dancing to Swish, Swish, Bish. Another one in the basket. Okay, well, y'all will get to hear me sing from time to time, so just get ready. Other performances for the show include Kendrick Lamar, Pink, Fifth Harmony, and the man himself, The Weeknd. But, you know, I'm from the Beyonce, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake generation. You know, they used to perform a lot during the early 2000s, a lot of dancing, a lot of choreography. So I want to see some dancing this weekend. If not, I may be a little bored. But we'll see what happens on Sunday night.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
So I'm happy to have our first comedian, Shawn Wayans, on the podcast. You know, as I mentioned earlier, Shawn has a show at the Improv this weekend, August 24th through the 27th. And when I heard that he was going to be in town, I definitely wanted to speak with him and get him on the podcast. But, you know, Shawn isn't the first Wayans brothers that I've spoken to. His brother Marlon was featured in JMG Magazine back in 2013 when he was in Houston promoting his movie A Haunted House. Now, at this point, I've interviewed almost 200 artists, celebrities, musicians. And out of that group, there's only been a handful that I can say that I've been nervous to talk to. And Marlon has been in that group. The reason why is because the interview was at the Four Seasons, and we were all in a suite, and we were waiting on Marlon to come in. I think he was working out or something like that. So we had passed the time for when, you know, the interview was going to start or when he was supposed to be in the room or whatever. And so there was this anticipation that was building for him to walk into the room. And so every time we would hear a noise, where it was like a door opening or something, we would jump and look and say, okay, is that him? Is he coming? And so, you know, that was a nervous time. But, I mean, it was a great time. He came in and just knocked it out and hilarious, and we just had a good time. So this past Friday, I tweeted a picture of me and Marlon from that interview, and I tagged him in the tweet. He saw it, and he retweeted me, so he definitely remembers who I am. So shout out to Marlon. So Shawn has been a huge part of the Wayans family, obviously. He's so funny, a great writer. The whole entire family is all about, they've done so many parodies. And, even starting all the way back to In Living Color, which has been, one of my all-time favorite shows. How can you not love Fire Marshal Bill and Wanda and just so many great characters? Shawn has written and co-produced the first 2 Scary movies, and not to mention White Chicks. I mean, the time it took him and Marlon to get into those costumes, hair, makeup, all of that, I mean, they just killed it in that movie. So the interview started with me asking Shawn if there's going to be a reboot of any of the TV shows that he's been in, such as The Wayans Brothers or In Living Color. And this is what he said.
Not on the table right now, but you never know.
Right. Well, I remember a couple of years ago, I think I had asked Marlon that question when I talked to him, and there were, some rumors, flying around. You know how those can be as far as, there's, going to be like a In Living Color remake of some sort. So that's not on the table?
Not right now, no.
Oh, man.
But there was, at a time, we was talking about doing it, but it didn't come together. So, like I said, the doors ain't closed, but not right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And, when you first appeared on the show In Living Color, you were a DJ. How did you learn how to DJ, and what was your favorite type of music to play?
Well, I learned how to DJ from my brother Damon, because he was a DJ and a really good one. I used to sneak on his equipment when he would leave the house, so I'd play around on that. And then one day he gave me some DJ equipment, and I used to play on that. But on A Living Color, I wasn't DJing because it was a tape show, so I was just acting on there.
What was your DJ name?
SW1.
SW1, that's right. Man, that was just such an incredible show. And, you moved on to, so many other great things, of course, acting and, being in movies. Scary Movie is one of my favorite movies, and I know that you co-wrote that with your brother Marlon. Whose idea was it to have your character Ray be a gay character as funny and as great as he was? Whose idea was that?
It was mine. Scary Movie was my idea. That I ended up writing with Keenan and Marlon, but I came up with it.
Okay. And how did you conceptualize that? As far as, was it because you watched the original, Scary Movie that came out, and you were like, okay, I want to do like, something tongue in cheek off of this? Like, where did you come up with the idea?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, we had just did Don't Be a Menace. I've always been a big fan of parody. So, I kind of grew up, on, Airplane and, Blazing Saddle and movies like that. I was on the set when Keenan made I'ma Get You Sucker. So when I was little, I always said one day I'm going to make one of those movies. So when I had the opportunity, I came up with Don't Be a Menace, and that was my I'ma Get You Sucker. And then from there, I was in the parody vein already, and when I found the humor in those movies, all the screams and stuff that came out, I thought it'd be fun to do one of those. So.
Well, you did a good job, because all of the parodies, all the movies that you guys have done have just been hilarious. They've been so good. And the funniest scene for me from Scary Movie, and I think it was from the part 2, it was when Ray and Brenda were in bed together, and Ray is calling out Brandon instead of Brenda.
That was funny. That was from part 1.
Oh, part 1. Okay.
When he had her putting on all the football equipment.
Yeah, the football gear. What's your favorite scene from the movie, Scary Movie?
Favorite scene from the movie. I like the ending when I'm stabbing the guy. I like getting high with the killer.
Oh yeah, that was good.
There were so many scenes in there. I mean, the sex scene with Cindy and her boyfriend Bobby, and him being blasted to the ceiling. I mean, Miss Man.
Oh man, how can you forget about Miss Man? That was so good.
Yeah, so there was a lot. That movie was packed.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think that was the first time a lot of people was introduced to Regina Hall. Have you spoken to her recently, or have you even seen her in Girls Trip that came out this summer?
I haven't seen her in Girls Trip yet, but I did see her recently at a restaurant that I was having lunch with one of my acting teacher, and she was there, so we got to chat for a minute.
So what did she say? Hey, boo.
No, I mean we just give each other love, say hi, and, see how everybody's doing, and then we keep it moving.
Yeah, definitely. And you have a show here in Houston this weekend at the Improv. Now, for those who've never seen you do stand up live before, what can they expect when they go see you at your show this weekend?
Lots of raw, in-your-face, honest humor, physical, and insightful, and funny. Most of all, funny.
And when you say physical, can you give us like a preview of, are you kind of standing on top of a chair or something? How physical do you get?
I don't know. I don't know how I do physical over the phone, but I'm loose. I move a lot. I bring things to life.
Okay. And what's the hardest part about doing stand up?
Hardest part about doing stand up? Well, I think the traveling is probably the hardest part for me. It's a grind that you get on the plane and all that stuff. It kind of tires you out, and then you got to go be funny.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. And what keeps you motivated on a daily basis? Like when you don't want to get out of bed, you don't feel like working. What keeps you motivated?
I always want to get out of bed, and I always want to work. Man, I love what I do. And when I reach that point when I'm tired of doing the grind, I'll take a vacation.
Okay, there you go.
But when I'm working, I'm working.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what keeps you happy, and like they say, when you do what you love, it's not really work.
Yeah, and plus I've been grinding since I was 5 years old. My dad used to make me and my brother get up at 5 in the morning to get him coffee until I was 18. So I'm used to getting myself out of bed and going to do something.
Oh yeah, and
I 5 in the morning anymore, but but I make sure I'm up.
Definitely. And, I took a few questions from Facebook. I let some of our Facebook fans know that I was going to be speaking with you today. So I took a few questions from your fans. So Jay Santiago grew up in New York, and he wanted to know if you appreciated growing up in the projects and on the west side of Manhattan, and how did that affect you and your career?
Yeah, I appreciated growing up in New York and in the projects. It made me tough. New York is a tough city, and growing up in the projects is a tough environment. And so that's where we kind of got our thick skin, and it gave us our grind and our hustle. And also, we grew up in a very mixed neighborhood. I grew up around, African Americans, Latinos, Asians, white people, Africans, Indians. So my point of view of the world is very broad, and that's probably why our humor is very inclusive.
And it is, now that you mention that, Shawn, when you think of the Wayans brothers, and when you think of Scary Movie, a lot of the work that you've done, I mean, a lot of the audiences that have enjoyed your work has been a diverse audience. And, it hasn't just been, solely, just, trying to capture a black audience. So I definitely understand what you're saying, when you say that.
Yeah, everybody gets what we do, and we include everybody in what we do, just because that's that's the world we know. White chicks had black people, white people. We did Latino people. That's just our point of view.
Definitely. And so Rochelle Owens from Facebook, she wanted to know, what do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment so far?
My greatest accomplishment so far in life?
in life, your career, whatever you consider to be your greatest accomplishment?
I
Personally?
guess my kids would be my greatest accomplishment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Raising nice children.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that than family. That's for sure. And
Yeah,
Tanisha,
on a personal level, yeah. Career-wise, I would say the most challenging and probably the most rewarding project we've done so far is probably White Chicks.
and why is that? Because of box office success, or why would you say that would be
No,
your big?
because actually Scary Movie was probably a bigger box office success, but White Chicks was a harder movie to pull off. It was very difficult to make, and we pulled off what we had in our head. So that was a big, huge accomplishment.
Okay, and was that just because of the writing part of it, or the costumes, or just everything?
It was everything, but more of the shooting and the makeup and the conditions during the shooting, and we had to be dressed like it was the summertime in the Hamptons, but we were in the dead of winter in Canada. So it was just challenging.
I can imagine. And how long did it take you to get through, hair, makeup, and all of that to get into character?
Yeah, it was 7 hours a day of makeup.
Jesus.
And then we were shooting from we'd have to get there by 3 in the morning. Our makeup to get done by 8, 9, and then we start shooting at 10, and we go all the way till 11 o'clock at night. So technically, we only get 4 hours of rest per night for 56 days.
But I mean, it was worth it because the movie came out so good.
It was worth it, and that's what I'm happy about. I'm happy that the audience did respond very well to it, so it was worth the pain.
Definitely. And Tanisha Upshaw from Facebook wanted to know if you have any plans to work with your brother Marlon in any more movies.
Yeah, at some point we'll find something that works for us and make that happen.
Okay. And, obviously I'm sure you've been keeping up with the news and everything that's happened, politically and what happened last week in Charlottesville. What's your opinion about, I guess, the political climate and how the country seems to be a little divided right now?
I'm in my little bubble of creativity. So I see that stuff in my peripheral, and I just go, man, in 2017, this is still going on. It's sad, but I don't really I don't harp on it too much. I just go back to what I'm doing because there's not much I can control.
And you're returning to the Boo Crew here soon. Tell us a little bit about the Boo Crew and your appearance on the show.
Well, the Boo Crew is something I came up with that I grew up on Charlie Brown and Fat Albert when I was a kid, and those shows were very influential to me, just in my value system and in my moral compass that I have today. Those shows instilled a lot of really good stuff in me. So I wanted to bring that back to this generation, and so we created the Boo Crew, which is basically it's Charlie Brown meets Fat Albert with a hip hop twist, and it follows 9 very different children growing up in New York City, and them going through the trials and tribulations of life, learning life lessons through humor and music. And so I'm gonna bring that back, and we had shot 2 specials for Nickelodeon probably 8 years ago, and then we got really busy, so we couldn't really focus on it, so we put it to the side, and now I'm bringing it back for a reboot, and so I'm writing new episodes and putting together some new ones now. You can follow it on the Boo Crew Official on Instagram, and get informed and updated on what's happening next.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be checking it out. And as far as all of the brothers that you have, such a talented family. If you were on a deserted island and you could only take one sibling with you, who would that be?
I honestly, family, I wouldn't go in those scenarios. I'd be with my family wherever they're gonna be.
Okay. And that was another Facebook question
If it's
from.
time for us to all go, then I guess that's just the time it's gonna be.
Family man, I hear that, definitely. Do you have any other projects coming up that we should know about, Shawn?
Me and Keenan are developing a couple of things right now, in addition to the Boo Crew, but none of that is really ready to be talked about yet.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
Visit jmgmags.com to download the latest episodes of the JMG Live Music Lounge podcast. This portion of the show is sponsored by Avant Media Institute.